Hey guys, it's Chris from Enola Gay, and it's time for Valken Debrief Live.
Hey everybody, we got good sound, good tone. Oh, reminds me of the old lines from Iron Eagle. How many people remember Iron Eagle out there? Give a thumb. Give a thumb if you remember the movie Iron Eagle. So, welcome to the Valken Debrief, episode number 77. And we are broadcasting live from the Kaiju Lair. Yes, this is my abode. We are not in the Colorado Ranch studio. And Darth Valken is, as you can see, is not in my home. He is at his home. We've been hit with a big, huge blizzard over the past couple days. School has been out. There was no school Wednesday, no school today, no school tomorrow. Just to give you an idea of how bad it was, I had 2-foot snowdrifts surrounding my cars this morning. There was over 1,200 abandoned cars on Interstate 25 in between Denver and Colorado Springs. So the governor of Colorado activated the National Guard to go and provide assistance to those on the interstate to get them home, pick them up. They, got buses out there, everything. So it's a good story. Went out this morning, ton of cars left on the road. But we're still broadcasting because we have a great show planned for you today. Please tag your friends. It's real easy. Let's see, who haven't I tagged yet? I'm going to tag my friend Alan. Alan. Hey, what's up? Steve, Tom from Dark Horse 6, MilSim. We got Aaron and Bodie Miller from Mohawk Tactical. Thanks for joining. 2 feet come to Michigan. I hear you, James Lindsay. Andrew says that's kind of moderate for here in Connecticut. No, I get you guys. But the show must go on, right? Matt McDonald's in the house. We got Midwest Regional Commander Tim Green, Jeff Martin. Hey, what is going on? Jay Baker, what up? Ethan Vaughn, Jerry Touchstone. Thanks for joining. We're already up to 26 live viewers. So, if you could, share the show. We greatly appreciate it. Another way you can support the show, besides telling other people, send us a direct message. Let us know who you would like to see as a special guest on the show or a special topic. We've done everything from single topics to topics that have extended over 3-week period. And another way that you can support the show, head on over to ValkenAlliance.com, go to our shop, and you can purchase a t-shirt. We're working on updating some new designs. We got the Join the Alliance. We got the Valken Debrief, as seen on the Valken Debrief. You got a picture of the Shadow Trooper saying, bad guys doing good things. And the one on the far right of the screen, our celebrities tee that was designed by Darth Valken himself. Gotta love it. So, Valken Alliance. What is this Valken Alliance, you say? Well, it's really simple. Head on over to ValkenAlliance.com, click on the join page. It is free. We're just all about connecting folks in your local area, getting them to get out and play together, going to events together, like the event we're going to be talking about, Battle at the Depot by MSATO later during this live cast. You know, actually live cast is a word. So as you can see also in our live bar, you actually also see Enola Gay in there. Enola Gay is now an official sponsor of the Valken Debrief. We love Chris Pananen, Omar Vega, Darren Sigmund, all the fine folks in the US division, plus Mark and Simon and those guys over in the UK. They are an official sponsor of the Valken Debrief Airsoft live show. And if you like Enola Gay, man, let's just give some hearts there. Give those big hearts for EG. Gotta love them. Let's see who else we got joining us in the chat. We got Javier Franco from One Grunt's Opinion and Centurion MilSim. Angel Ramos, what's up? Jake. It's Jake. I can't deal with last names right now. Devin Cleveland is in the house. Lucky Branch, hey. Carol Sosnowski. Woot woot coming from GZA USA. Thank you for joining. Kurt Giglio in the house. Man, this is awesome. So, we have a little tradition here on the Valken Debrief. The overachiever of the night, the very first poster who had nothing else better to do but to wait. When's it start so I can comment first? Jerry Touchstone is our overachiever of the night. Thank you so much for supporting us. We really appreciate it. So, we're going to have Tom O'Rourke as our special guest of the evening. And you know what? I need to get Valken Josh in the chat. Let's tag him. Tag your friends. Get him in the show. We're already up to above 30 live viewers. We're going to cut to a quick commercial break. Show you a little fun I had in Germany last week with Josh with IWA. I won't spoil it for you, but get your questions ready. We're gonna be talking to Tom, talking about MSATO, and specifically a little Q&A session for his next event, which is 1 month from now, Battle at the Depot at the Seneca Army Depot in Romulus, New York. And I hope I got all those details correct. Just waiting for the north-south head nod from Tom in the green room. Yep, I got it all correct. So, all right, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break, if I can find it, because we had to fire all our staff. I'm sorry. This is all big budget, and we can't afford to pay people, even when they're interns and they work for free. So, we'll be right back after this quick commercial break and have Tom from MSATO MilSim joining us.
One for the money, two for the show. I'm Leszek from Gunfire. Valken Debrief, here we go.
Hi guys, I'm Leszek from Gunfire, one of the best retail shops in Europe. You can find us on every social media. You can find me on Instagram, that guy from Gunfire. Check us out.
It's awkward when you do that.
Hey guys, Kaiju here, the Supreme Commander of the Valken Alliance and co-host to the Valken Debrief, which you can watch every Thursday night on Valken Facebook Live. And this guy's not important. This is Arian from Airsoft and MilSim News. Oh,
Hello.
Pavle from...
Airsoft MilSim News.
You gotta talk louder, they need to hear you.
No, he's gonna talk. I just wanted to make a
you
scene.
get out of here. Okay.
Hello again.
This is Arian from Airsoft and MilSim News Blog. And what do you do with it?
I do a lot of stuff actually. I do the speaking, I do the talking, and I do the communication. No, I'm kidding. So I do a lot of product reviews. I do a lot of product testing. I do a lot of pictures, funny enough. And we're slowly trying to do more video too.
Yeah.
Kind of like this.
And you guys are getting an award tomorrow, right?
Are we? Yeah. No, we are. We definitely are. What are we getting for?
The Popular Airsoft.
No, the play. Yes. Oh God, there's so many P's in there. Popular Airsoft Players' Choice Awards
For the best
English-speaking website, news website. Yeah, of course.
And where can they find you?
They can find us at www.airsoft MilSim-news.com.
And that's not an underscore, that's a dash.
It's a dash.
Like
yeah.
a minus sign.
Even I had to go through that process. // dash. There we go.
Check us out, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we're back. The Valken Debrief Airsoft live show number 77. Man, we're just going to keep clicking away here. And I'm the Kaiju, the Supreme Commander of the Valken Alliance, and the co-host to the Valken Debrief. And to my right, your left, special guest, Tom O'Rourke from MSATO MilSim. Welcome, Tom.
Hey, thanks. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate it. Thanks for reaching out to be on the show so we can talk about your company and your events and things like that. We had a few folks join us in the chat. Steve Tom from Dark Horse 6 MilSim, URG Forces coming strong at the depot. So I would assume they're on URG.
Yeah. Yep. Actually, both sides are pretty even right now. So we're doing well. With Steve's got 2 squads for Dark Horse 6.
Oh yeah, he's always rolling deep. Man, GZA there's a lot of dudes apparently, ton of GZA boys in this stream according to Kirk Giglio.
Yeah, we got a lot of good players up in that area.
Nice. So, before we get into the meat of it, for those that haven't been in the Northeast region or are familiar with MSATO MilSim or yourself, just give us a quick background about yourself. No airsoft yet. We'll get into that, but just to give the folks a taste of who you are and where you come from. Tom, are you still there?
I lost you for a second.
Oh,
there.
Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Tom O'Rourke, run, the owner, MSATO, and for the Northeast, as you said, you don't want me to, I'll get into that in a minute. It's my background. I was in, basically, majority of my life I spent actually in medical sales. And during that time, kind of started off in just a lot of guys started off in paintball. Actually, was probably when I was in college was the first time I played paintball, and we were using the that was back in 86, 87, and we were using the single shot markers. And
you realize you're dating yourself now, right?
Yeah, I'm really dating myself. I'm old. I'm an old fuck. So did the paintball, and then we were actually having a we had the doctors from Yale and the doctors from University of Connecticut and the residency program, and we brought them out to play paintball at a place that's no longer around in Connecticut. And during that, also we see these guys walking out of the woods. And we're like, what the heck is going on with those guys? And I didn't know anything about airsoft or anything else like that. These guys come start showing us their guns. And it was from that point on, I was like, man, that's why I want to switch over to that. That looks a lot cooler.
Yeah, we've probably gotten a lot of comments like that when you first see an airsofter. What the heck is that?
Yeah, we were like, what the? These guys come walking out of the woods, and we thought they had real guns. And we're like, those guys were out there like with real guns while we were playing paintball. So I started that, and this kind of manager. So always been into strategy, and I like the military simulation, the strategy aspect of it, and that's kind of what got me really interested in airsoft, and so left medical and got into entertainment and a bunch of other different things, and so been doing
Nice. Now, am I mispronouncing it? Because I've been saying MSATO, but you actually said MSATO.
Yeah, I say MSATO, but people say it all different ways.
What is it? What does it stand for? Is it an acronym or?
It's military simulation and tactical operations.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, then. So, when was your, and folks, comment in the chat, ask your questions away. We'll be sure to interrupt and asking them. It's not my questions, it's your guys' questions. You're the viewers, you support the show. We really appreciate you. And Big Gino's in the house, CEO of Valken Sports. Without him, this live show wouldn't happen. Me traveling around all over the world, coming to your airsoft events wouldn't happen. Give Big G some hearts. Some hearts. There we go. So Tom, when was your... Let's go back. So you mentioned you're like, hey, I want to try airsoft. What made you want to, hey, I want to start up an event company? Rather than just being content going from place to place to play, what flipped that switch is like, hey, I want to start hosting?
There's a place called Tallinn, and it's Tolcom up in Massachusetts, and that's kind of like where MilSim started in the Northeast. And I remember one of the games I ended up playing, the first games I ended up playing, and it was a down pilot scenario, and I remember having to go get the down pilot, and it was, they had it made out of copper pipe. And I remember the guy grabbing it with one hand and running and shooting and running, carrying the down pilot. And I was like, that's not, yeah, we're doing some cool stuff here, but it's still not what I was looking for. And then I went for the first battle for Tallinn back in, it was like 2003 maybe. And that's what I was looking for. And so I went to that game, and then we went to a couple of games after that, and it was, kind of turned into, like more capture the flag type stuff again. So I'd talked to the guy who was running the games up there, Jolly, and I said, hey, I got some ideas. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So I ended up doing that, ran the battle for Tallinn the following year. And with that was, I think, around 2004 maybe. And the NEASG was the largest group up in the Northeast. And we had like 3,000, I remember we had over 3,000 members on our boards. And I said,
wow.
Let's...
For our young airsofters, there was actually a thing called Airsoft Forum boards that, with the domination of Facebook groups, forum boards back in the day were like a big deal.
Yeah, so so we had like over 3,000. And I said, it'd be great if we could just get 10% of these guys out to a game. And we ended up doing it. We ended up getting over 300 players out.
Nice,
and,
man! For your first game, 300. That's a huge number.
It was like my first like large event that I was running. Ran some other games up at Tallinn. We did a lot of cool stuff. That was a lot of fun. We ended up starting it Friday night too. So it was we went Friday night into Saturday. So we did a lot of cool things with that.
Gotcha.
And
real quick, before it gets too deep in the chat, Steve Tom actually asks, for the Battle at the Depot event, is the tag marking rounds the only rounds that can take out technicals, and does it have to be a direct hit to disable it?
Yes, the Paladin rounds, the chalk marking rounds, are the ones that take out the vehicles, and it does have to hit and break. We've seen that even with we had the Ma Deuce guys up in Maine when we were on the island up there, and round that went right in between them and went right through the Jeep, didn't hit anyone, and hit a tree on the other side. And just like a regular projectile, it's got to actually hit them and break. So the reason we only want the Paladins used chalk, they're first of all, it's a great resource for us to be able to utilize on vehicles. Going back to the old days, we used to use the Nerf rockets, Nerf foam rocket, and we would actually dip them in the like we use for chalk lines.
Right.
Yeah. Chalk and use that for marking vehicles. So these Paladins, the chalk rounds, are what we use, and we have enough of them. So players have to adapt, and it helps with the vehicle. The people who are driving, they know they've been hit. It's clearly identifiable, and I think it's one of the best things that's come out as far as being able to have the in games.
Cool. Oh, here we go. They're warmed up now. Andrew asks, will the field or any part of it be open early at all for a walk around or walkabout or drive around to learn the field a bit?
I'm going to be up there on Thursday. We'll let people start signing in on Friday, so they'll be able to drive around and see the facility after they check in. They got to check in. We need their waivers. But there will be time.
Nice. Yeah, there's usually, I haven't come across an event host that didn't allow, walk-ons to go and recon the field. Now, I know some hosts they won't open the field until like a certain time because they're still setting up, obviously. But I'm pretty sure a lot of folks allow to go on and do a little recon.
Oh, we don't always.
Oh, well, there you go. Tell them
so
why.
it depends on the AO. So if we're having a situation where we want them to go in blind sometime. So if they're we had a situation where the DEA we actually gave the facility when we were up at Fitchburg to the cartel. So it's a Breaking Bad scenario. The cartel had the facility, and the DEA actually had to attack from outside. They actually had to go over the chain link fence and make their way through. We didn't give them walkthrough ahead of time because we wanted to give them the realism of having to figure out the facility as they were going along.
Gotcha. So, man, Devin Cleveland got a lot of likes on his question. So, what is the vehicle situation for Battle at the Depot? Does both sides have enough vehicles for it to be considered balanced?
Yes. I'm pretty sure there's about 4 vehicles on Joint Task Force, and I think they have anywhere from 2 to 4 on the URG. I know the Ma Deuce guys are coming, and there's a couple other guys who are bringing. Whenever we're dealing with vehicle owners, there's always something that comes up. So we do. It comes down to what shows up that when we're there. But as far as what we're being told, it will be balanced. Each side also gets a Penske 24-foot box truck.
24-inch. Guys, you got to pile into this 2-foot box truck.
Yeah. Box trucks are the helicopters. Those are the troop transports.
Yep.
So because it is a 1,000-acre site, the majority of the battle will be taking place in the warehouse district. And then what we'll do is we'll send them out on Frago missions. So all squads will be going out on missions, and we'll be using the Penske trucks to move people like they're being moved on a helicopter.
Gotcha. Which actually spawns a couple other questions. One, can you take down a Penske truck with those Paladins? And the other question is, do you always have vehicles in play at your events, and what are vehicle requirements?
All right, there were a couple there.
Okay, so first, can you take down a Penske with a Paladin?
No,
Okay.
no, we're not gonna allow that. Just because we're trying to move troops and we're trying to move people, and because the AO is so big, it doesn't make sense to with them. What was the next?
And do you always allow vehicles at your events? And what is the requirements for vehicles?
The vehicles, we run a lot of different AOs, so everything's dependent on the AO that we're utilizing. If it has the capability to have vehicles and for it to work, then we let vehicles. It's totally dependent on the AO. So as far as vehicles, we basically we're looking at gun trucks. We're not looking for, in this type of situation, we're not looking for troop transports because we are going to use the Penske trucks for this place. And this way we're just running with the gun truck. So if there's a vehicle out there, it can be engaged. And as vehicles go, it has to be a military vehicle or something that would actually be like a technical.
So I can't bring my VW bus with a turret on top.
If it was something that like
there it is. There's the smile.
You see weird stuff in overseas. Some of the crazy things that they do. So if you decided to put a turret on something like that, then we would consider it.
Gotcha. So there is an approval process then.
Yes, we do have an approval process. I'm not looking for a go-kart or like a golf cart that has wood panels on it or something like that. It has to be something that would be used within a military.
Like the big dune buggies or the Toyota Hiluxes. For those of you who know, Toyota Hilux is the diesel version of the Toyota Tacoma, which they used in the desert. I want a Hilux so bad. Kirk Giglio asked, does this AO have power/outlets like Fitchburg did? Expecting not, but just curious.
No, we're no power that we have access to. It does say in the in our rules, we're not plan on being able to power your own stuff. If people want to have generators or like car charge or something along those lines, but we do not have access to power for the players.
Gotcha. Yeah, Andrews actually says, hey, most people bring small Jennies. He'll have a Ryobi, so worst case, you can always plug in. John Myrick from All Star Airsoft said, should have a charging table available. So, yeah, let's see. We got, what are the questions? Bring up some more questions. I'm scrolling through here. Man, we got Angel Ramos. Carlos Munoz from 265 Tactical says, "What up? Looking good, Tom." So, oh, Jeffrey Smith in the house. Chris Slavic is watching. Man. Braden Coburn says, "Power it with your wit and smiles." Oh my goodness. So you have two main factions for Battle at the Depot. You have JTF and URG. Is that correct? Or am I
Correct.
wrong? Okay.
No, that's it.
Uniform requirements for each faction?
JTF is a joint task force. It's tan multicam. So it's it's our brown and tan side. URG is green and black.
Mm-hmm.
So it's United Resistance Group. It's a new name we came up with to give them. And so those are the two main groups. We do use staff that will actually also work as an OPFOR. I use plaid, and they are usually wearing blue jeans. So they have like plaid shirts and blue jeans.
Tactical lumberjacks.
They distinguish. I'm sorry?
Tactical lumberjacks.
Yeah.
Real quick, Angel Ramos asks, how many vendors will be on site for this event?
We have Amped Airsoft and All Star Tactical. John Merrick, who's on here right now, are the two main vendors.
Yes, I've worked with both of them. John and All Star and his boys have come and supported some of the East Coast Lion Claws events and helping me set up and vend. I always loved John and his crew. Also, Amped Airsoft and those guys. They brought a huge tent last time. So if you forget something between those two, they will probably have it unless you ask for some weird off-the-wall widget. Just always remember, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. Always bring it back up. Speaking of camos for the faction, because this popped up in my head. So you use multicam in your browns. Have you noticed a trend with other event hosts or comments from those folks coming to your events as far as multicam or any other traditional camos being a complaint for unit recognition at events?
If it was my choice, I'd go back to DCU and BDU.
That's what I'm talking about.
Unfortunately, it's beyond that. The reason we went with Joint Task Force is our military unit, and that's why we allow the multicam. The URG is more like the Rebel Force, and that's where we're going with the black and the green there. It's tough. There's more and more camos coming out. The one that ATAC, I think it's ATAC FG. We don't allow that one on green just because it is so close to multicam. We did allow it previously, and you just couldn't tell the difference. Even like 20 feet away, it was hard to tell the difference between the two.
Yeah.
So that,
and the bright tropic is a definite green. I've seen a host or two, focus on multicam arid and multicam tropic, but man, it's so hard to say no to just regular multicam because so many people have it.
It's the most common, it still is, I'd say, one of the most common ones out there. You have to bid with the patches, and I went with really large patches for the players who signed up before January. We have other we'll have the patches for sale, but anyone who signed up before the end of January, I went with the URG patch is a black patch, looks like a pirate flag,
Mm-hmm.
and then the JTF is a tan patch, and it basically takes up the entire. It'll take up your entire Velcro, and I did it that large on purpose because it's just another identifier for the players.
No, I gotcha. Yeah. I think there's a story behind this one. Jake says, Tom, tell him about the no Ozcam on tan either.
Well, Oz, I mean, you got the Ozcam, which is like the desert one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that one's fine. The regular Ozcam, I don't know, man. Is anyone running that?
So, it's very interesting, and I know it's probably difficult for you to juggle, and you probably have all the authorized camos listed in the rule set for this event, but you're always going to have folks come out of the woodwork. Oh, well, is this camo allowed, or this camo allowed, or this camo allowed? Why can't people just get the camo?
Yeah, it's tough. It's funny because we back in the day, like I said, you had BDU and DCU, and even at nighttime, with night vision, you could see the difference
Mm-hmm.
because of the patterns, and that was great. And then with the more, and that was with John Liu, and he did a great job. And then the more hosts that you get, we're all competing for customers.
Yeah.
And ultimately, you have to make some adjustments because players are coming up with these different camos. You try to accommodate as best you can, but at the same time, I mean, there has to be a line. We do put out there that what the camos are, and we do ask that if you're to let us know, and we'll approve it or we don't.
The chats. Braden Coburn says, "Screw it, shirts versus skins." if it can only be so. Let's go away from gear and camera real quick. Is your FPS rule set, squad weapons, riflemen, pretty standard, or is there anything unique that you implement regarding weapons that might be different from another event?
As far as I know, we're pretty standard with multiple. I don't have a. The thing I don't have a limit on the grenade launchers. In reality, we haven't had an issue with too many. With the squad having too many grenade launchers, and with the cost of the rounds and all the cost of the rounds, I think people limit it themselves. The extra weight,
right,
203 on there.
What is grenade kills? Only for vehicles, or are there personnel grenade kill rules as well?
No, we allow the other tag-in grenades. The Reapers, the Fate. So it's basically like a 10-foot. Depending on what it is, but it's basically we have the like all the different Enola Gaze, the tag-in, all the different tag-in grenades that are out there right now. We have all those that are going off as well.
Okay, so you authorize the tag-ins.
Yep.
I'm already seeing Jeff Martin's asking about the Airsoft Innovations 40 mic. So, what are the other authorized grenades?
We do allow the other grenades. The 40 mics. We actually did it versus the tag-in. Some people call them the buckshot, And they're really, although you're getting hit with a lot of BBs all at once, the old school 203s are allowed as well. We use those back in day, and you got the ones
Mosscart shells.
Yeah, I mean, you got the guys who would fill up. There's those one shells that you can use for paint, and people would fill those up with BBs and put the cap on there, and
yep. I mean, that was
very similar.
That was the perfect Mosscart was the Mad Bull CO2 paintball grenade, because it had a 68 caliber chamber, but you could fill it up with CO2 with the CO2 adapter, and you'd throw that into your 203 and shove one of those Nerf Pocket Vortex rockets or a MilSim Labs rocket into the front of the tube, and boop. That's how we did it back in the day. Crazy, right?
Yeah, that was the case. I mean, we had one of our guys who was running those what is it, the Mad Bull paintball style ones, and he had it 6 the grenade launcher did the 6, and
the drum launcher.
Yeah. So I remember we were using that down at Red Storm East the one year, and that was great for going in and clearing rooms.
Oh yes, it's like you see that guy come through the front door, and whether he's pointing at you or not, and you hear it go off, you're just like, hit, I'm good, hit. So people are asking specifically, what about the 40 mic and the new Master mic grenades? Are those allowed?
The 40 is allowed. We allowed them. I don't know what the new
Master mic. So we all know what the 40 mic does. It's like pretty much a little bird that goes out to 100 feet. So the new Master mic, what they did is they brought back the distance with a wider spread with a little less FPS. So, for those that the 40 mic is just too intense, too insane, it's just they brought in the Master mic. So, 100 FPS versus no, I'm getting that wrong. Sorry, Jonathan. Jonathan and Carl are going to beat me up. But it's a much shorter cone. A little bit shorter distance, about 2/3. So it's like the go-between between the old Mosscart and the 40 mic. So it's a much more of a room clearing than one person getting all 120 BBs like to the gut. Is the best way I can put it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we allow them.
Nice.
It's
all about big boy rules,
people
right?
gotta understand. I mean, you're going in there, you're gonna get shot. I mean, if you want to go real old school, you go back and look. Everyone's got on these plate carriers and everything else like that. We didn't have that stuff. We were stuck.
Yeah.
You're fucking getting shot. I mean, that was before face protection. Now you're supposed to wear face protection.
Yes.
So when people get mad and they're like, "Oh, I got shot in the face." Well, dude, that's all you gave them to shoot at. Especially in a CQB environment, doorway or something like that, and you give them your face, and you're not wearing a lower face mask. That's what it is. I mean, it's in the rules.
Yeah.
Have face protection.
Angel Ramos asks, will night missions differ from the day missions, besides the obvious, the lights going out? The reason I ask is due to the amount of players going off-field to sleep.
We have probably, I'd say you're probably looking at about 1/3 of each team plans on going full immersion. So they're looking at staying in the field the entire time. That's what they're telling me. What we have is this is confusing. But when I did the contract for the depot, I did it as we were allowed to stay there for continuous time for military simulation. And the owner understood that we have guys who aren't going to be going the entire time. And with that, what we're saying is we're able to rest overnight. So he didn't want it called camping. There were people who contacted him and said, hey, well, you're letting MSATO camp on site. And he said, well, no, I'm not. They're doing, continuous operations. So we had to clarify it and say, look, it's rest overnight. So there will be an area that players can get out of combat operations. If you're in the field and you're sleeping in the field and you just want to go with a tarp or like you're basically going to be a bivouac, you're in play. So if you're out there and you get rolled up on in the middle of the night, you're in play. That's the way it is. You want to get out of play, you leave the field in that area, or we have probably 25% of the people are going to hotels. And we wanted to give a broad range so that we could get a lot of players to this AO. And there's all different styles nowadays. And we can run all different styles. It's not really that big an issue. My COs, especially on the JTF side, Guy Ram, Scout Recon. So he used to go out at night, and they'd stay out. And same with Frolic. A lot of the guys who remember Frolic from back in the day up at when we were running games up at Fort Drum. Frolic's hardcore.
Yeah.
And those guys, those are the commanders. So they have no problem keeping those guys out there, and we'll have missions for them. People want to leave and go to a hotel. What we want to know is that you're leaving and then when you come back in, we'll get you back in. Way we're,
common sense, you would think you wouldn't have to mention this, but I'm sure you have to repeat it, especially, for safety. If you decide to take a rest in game, keep your iPro on. If you decide to walk off game, tell your chain of command. Don't just, I got done with the firefight, I'm just going to walk off. Don't do that, because me and some of my other friends, Woody and Steve and Prime, we're accountable. Even though it's just a game, we care about everyone's safety just as much as Tom and his staff. Let somebody know. Because what really sucks is, hey, you and your fire team go walking off and we think, wait, can't pull you up on the radio, you're not in the off zone, then they might have to call a tactical pause to go find you. So please tell somebody. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, we're each side will have a command post, and they'll have maps, they'll have the whiteboards. We're going to be keeping track of squads, and just let them know.
Yep.
And it is on the players. As far as iPro, in the protection, I was saying face protection, iPro, you got to keep it on the entire time while you're in the field. The parking area, we'll have it caution taped off, so when you cross over that line, it'll be away from the playing area. So we're not going to have like stray BBs coming in. We're talking 1,000-acre site.
Yeah.
I don't think most people understand that size.
Right.
And so the main battle will be taking place in the warehouse district, what I call the warehouse district. And then what we'll do is we'll have the Frago missions going off over into the buildings, over into the the train depot and other areas, the other missions that are going on. But the main battle, and I'm kind of doing this the way we did it up at Fort Drum, where we had the mount site, and then we'd run people out to these other areas. And that's, that part, again, going back to the Penske trucks and having that type of thing, getting people out there in sending them out there. But as far as people leaving, if you're going to leave, part of your responsibility is let us know that you're leaving, so that we do want to have accountability when we're talking about a location this large. There will be one location where people go in and out of. So we will have some type of person at the gate there, so we don't have civilians coming on site there. But players have certain responsibilities as well.
Yep.
And it's to let us know where you are. Yeah. If you're going to leave, we don't care if you're leaving. Just let us know you're leaving.
Exactly. We got a few questions rolling in here, so I want to make sure I get to them. Angel asks, will booby traps be allowed to be in play, i.e. sound alerting devices?
I mean, you can use them. We don't take responsibility if, unfortunately, just so people understand, when people get into that mode, and depending, especially if it's at night or something like that, and you have some sound device going off, you go into a building and that thing starts going off. Unfortunately, and you have to expect this, another player doesn't want to hear that thing going off, and he's most likely not going to respect your equipment, and he's probably going to stomp on it to stop it from making noise. So,
I mean, unfortunately, that is reality. Or people are just going to leave the area because they're probably wearing maybe some electronic muffs due to bangers or whatever, and they're like, you know what, I don't want to be around that sound, and it's just gonna they're just gonna head off. Devin Cleveland asks, Tom, speaking of COs, do we still need platoon commanders specifically for first?
We're still talking with people, yeah. So if somebody's interested, definitely get in touch with us. We're definitely still talking to people about different positions like that.
Oh, this is funny. So Jeff Martin says, Tom, give a quick discussion on hard cover per Jeff Smith.
Hard cover, I'm not sure what that means.
I saw a comment earlier, like a desk is not hard cover.
Yeah, if you're on the other side of a desk and a grenade goes off, it's not hard cover. What we basically explained, this goes back to the game I was running up here in Wallingford. And somebody was behind a desk, and they said, "Well, it's hard cover." And I said, "Well, in reality," I said, "that would probably just be more shrapnel coming at you." So, no, a desk is not hard cover. I mean, if you're behind a concrete barrier or something like that, that was one thing. I did see, I think Steve Tom said something about blank fire. We don't have any real guns on our AOs, and no blank fire. And a lot of times that's what one of the differences. It's hard to get in these AOs, and a lot of property owners do not want that. And specifically at this AO, just so people understand, there are prisons very close by. And one of the reasons a section of the warehouse district is out of play is because the Five Points prison is right there. I actually have a meeting with the prison officials before this game. And we also restrict where drones are going to be flown. And we'll go over with people on that. But there's no drones in a certain section, which is closest to the prison.
Oh, that's very good to know. Just for our viewers, we're getting close to our end time here for tonight's show. So if you got important questions, get them in the chat so I can ask Tom, because we've had some very great questions regarding Battle at the Depot, and it's really good. So Tom, securing Seneca Army Depot, just briefly, what are some of the things that or hoops or things that you've had to deal with that with this AO that's been kind of unique and improved your experience with putting on events?
Actually, I got to tell you, the property owner at Seneca Depot he's a great guy. I've been very fortunate with him. And this one, it was kind of nice. I had been told about this one, and I put it off using it because I wanted I had other different AOs going on at the time, and so I put it off. And then last year, Alex from Mere Tactical, I saw him say, "Oh, I'm going to be coming to New York." So I actually called Alex and said, "Hey, Alex, I just want to let you know I'm going to be doing an event at that AO as well, and I just wanted to let you know I'm telling you that you're doing it there." The property owner is really he's been one of the best guys that I've dealt with. But he wants to limit how many event organizers he has to deal with. So he's allowed Alex and I to utilize this AO. And he's told me he's been contacted by others. He's just not looking to deal with a lot of event organizers. He wants to limit it. Really cool guy. I'm going back up there on Friday next week, meeting him again. I'm also meeting with the U.S. Army commander who's on site there, because even though it's a decommissioned base, it's still being decommissioned. So the Army still has a presence on site at the depot. So I'm meeting with them when I go up there as well.
Gotcha.
But their AO, it actually wasn't that bad. There's a lot of other ones I've had to deal with that are a lot tougher. A lot of going back and forth, the lawyers a lot of times.
It's a lot of time, a lot of prep, and I mean, especially if an AO doesn't turn out, I mean that's a lot of time and energy and labor and money that you've spent trying to coordinate that, and sometimes you can't get it back, and it's unfortunate. But we were very happy that you continue to plug along, not letting one AO saying no get in the way of you guys producing great events. You, Alex Petrakis, I've known Alex for a while. They're putting on some great events as well. Steve Tom says cross-promoting is key to building the sport we love. It is. We have no enemies. We want everyone to succeed. You guys support Mir, they support you. I mean, I'm seeing, event hosts supporting one another, even attending. It's beyond cross promotion, but also attending other event host events, which is really great. Jeff asks, Kai, you rolling with this dog? Unfortunately, I will not be at Battle of the Depot. Tom asked me before the show. That weekend, I'm actually going to be in Chicago getting my nerd on attending Star Wars Celebration, which is a Star Wars convention that's only given every other year, and it'll be my first. So there was actually a lot of airsoft events, VFA's charity event, Tom's event in the Northeast, and it was just like, I'm sorry, I'm just taking a personal weekend actually to go do that. Carol, she's saying great show, nice seeing Tom online. So everybody was saying you're looking good, not looking as old as some of us like myself and Steve Tom, who has to go back to a hotel every night to get a shower during this event. I always got to give Steve a hard time. Actually, talking about Steve, that actually reminds me. I'm assuming you allow night vision at the event, yes?
Yep.
So
absolutely.
For those of us like myself, I'm not talking to you, Woody or Steve, that either cannot afford or choose not to invest in night vision. How do you balance out the night scenarios so the folks that don't have night vision don't feel overwhelmed?
The rental, they have the rental night vision. The
Go rent some.
It's hard, you know, like we want to get, you know, I guess part of what we're doing is, you know, we do give people the option. So if people want to be fully immersed, we're given that opportunity to people to do that. If you're not into the whole night vision piece of it, or you don't have night vision, or you're not looking to do the whole thing, you know, you can go back and rest overnight. As far as the, as you know, it's tough because not everyone has it. I mean, but the guys who do, they've made the investment, and you can either try white lighting them, or you know, like, or you can still complete missions. We'll have vehicles out there. There's other ways to complete missions. Yeah. You have to think outside. You can't be like, okay, well, or you see who has vision. The commanders take that into account. One of the things that we ask the commanders to do when they're going through who has what assets, and you know, who has grenade launchers to take vehicles out of vision. So when you're starting to put your groups together, that's one of the things commanders, and you want to know where your assets are. Yeah. And night vision's one of them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, tack lights. You know, you can even get TLR1s, stream lights. They're not very expensive. You can even get the Repro tack lights. A lot of people are saying white light is life. Darth Valken has the answer. Magnesium flares, duh.
I know one of the guys who's bringing his Humvee. The Legion guys, they have a light that belongs like in a tank or something like that.
Oh wow!
That thing just lights up and freaking. That thing is crazy. But you know, like I said, there's other. We have to give missions to people, and we give them the opportunity to figure out how to do it. We give them the mission. We don't. Our missions are not devised. You know, who's gonna be able to do it. We set the table, and we let them pick at what they want to eat.
Yeah, figure out the puzzle. Monte Gilliam asks, do you allow tracer units?
Yeah, we do. We do allow tracer. HPA, who does our BBs for us, they had tracer BBs available. I'm not sure what you guys have, but yeah, we definitely allow them.
Nice. Yeah, we actually offer .2s and .25s, and I can't say anything else, or Darth Valken is going to reach through the camera and strangle me. So, but we'll have news soon to come. Let's see. Steve Tom, Doug from Legion busting my balls on side chats about his lights. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know the Ma Deuce guys, when they light up their light bar, man, that is crazy. And those guys run night vision, I think, too.
Yeah, Woodcock even says the Psionics Aurora is a very affordable option for night vision as well. Nice. So we've reached about that time. The questions have kind of slowed down. So, Tom, thank you very much. Did you enjoy the show and the Q&A?
Great. Yeah, very good.
Awesome.
Thought it worked out well.
Well, definitely, I'd love to have you back. We always have guests returning to the show. we can even do like a little AAR segment after you get your feedback from everyone and stuff like that. If you want to do an AAR, or you want to do another Q&A segment for another one coming up, more than happy to oblige. Jake Grubsky, tell Tom I love him.
Hey, good guys, man.
Oh
good
my
guys.
goodness. Oh my goodness. Braden Coburn says, new show idea. Never end the debrief 24/7. Dude, Veritas, I can't do that. I mean, I can't even be at, Fort Monmouth this weekend because I just got back from Germany. I mean, I got a life. I can't be everywhere. I can't do it all, Rich Gully, Kaiju, thanks for showing the booth babes at the IWA. Yes. So we're going to be doing a little bit different format in 2019. We're still going to be bringing you the live show every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Different guests, different topics. You guys can always send me a direct Facebook message to my personal account or to the Valken Airsoft Facebook account if you want to see anybody on the show. Last year, when I would travel to events, we do the debrief at those events. It's very difficult. If I'm going to an AO that doesn't have internet, sometimes hotspot off the phone just isn't strong enough to broadcast. So this year, we won't have the full production live shows on Thursday nights when I travel to an event, but we will be doing Instagram live broadcasts from my phone on the Fridays when I'm at the event. So we're still interacting, still bringing you guys and gals more content because we do appreciate everyone's support here. I've learned that, hey, keep going, do a lot more, and I'm sure Tom has learned it as well. It's like in the initial, sometimes you just put yourself out there too much, and then you realize, I gotta reel it back in a little bit. Because we love our sport, we're all passionate. Tom and his staff is very passionate. They're very professional. Love what the folks at MSATO is doing up there in the Northeast region, and we're looking forward to seeing a lot more throughout the year. Tom, before we go, approximately how many more events do you think MSATO is going to be hosting in 2019?
I'm trying to get I probably have like four more,
Okay.
maybe 5. It all depends. There's like I said, I'm waiting to get a contract back. Trying to get the Ohio one. I'm pretty excited about. It's going to be limited number.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited about that one. I actually want to try getting in there and playing a little bit on that AO. And then I gotta put the deal together. I'm probably gonna look at going back up to Maine this year. We didn't go last year. I got to see how dilapidated the building is. But it's a 60-acre island, so I got to see how I can pull that off. And there's a couple other AOs I'm looking at, just trying to, as I say, it takes about 4 to 5 months to get some of these AOs together. But we'll probably do like four more at least.
Gotcha. Well, nice. Good to see that you're going to have more out there. Well, thank you very much, Tom. We really appreciate it.
Thanks
I know
for
it's
having me.
getting late out there. So thank you to all the viewers for watching. Let's give some hearts to Tom, our special guest, because he did a great job. He wasn't nervous at all. Not at all. He was a true professional. So be sure to catch us back next week. Same time, same channel for episode number 78, where we're going to have Too Tall Tom as our special guest out in Utah. So another great MilSimmer, loves long range, and we're going to have some great fun because he does a lot in social media as well. So who knows what we'll end up talking about. But again, thank you, Tom. Have a good night. Have a good night, everyone. And
Take
thanks
care.
for joining us.
Thanks for tuning.
Are we going? What's going on, guys? It's Nigel with Elite Force. Check out the Valken Debrief. Debrief? Try one more time. Check out my briefs.
Hey, I like my briefs.
Check out the briefs.
That's so great. See, once I knew what I was doing.
And those are my guys, actually. It's just, you know,
we're his kids.
Hi, it's Jonathan from Airsoftology. I'm really camera shy, but you're watching the Valken Debrief.
So, we'd like to give you a small gift from us. Stop filming!
Hey, it's Kaiju. I'm the Supreme Commander. That's what I am.